Nancy Spears, and today I'm with Dr. Richard Besser, who's the Chief Health and Medical Editor at ABC News. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
Great to be here.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks.
Yeah, great. So you wrote a book that America's been waiting for. It's called Tell Me the Truth, Doctor, and this book is actually so accessible for every human being in the world, really, but America, in terms of answering questions that we all have about our health.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell me, what motivated you to write the book?
Well, I love science, and I love the ability of science to take a bunch of information that's very confusing and organize it in a way to give you an answer, and to try and find some hidden truth. And we are bombarded by so much information all the time, health information. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. People ask me all the time these questions, and I wanted to put into an easy way to consume version what the science says about people's most important health questions, and that's what the book is.
So there's 6 actual categories in the book, right?
Yeah.
What are the ones that are most frequently asked?
Well, I never go anywhere without somebody asking me a diet or exercise question.
Okay.
Because as a culture, we're obsessed with weight for many reasons. As a society, we're getting more and more obese. But we're also obsessed because we're a culture that goes through serial dieting. And serial dieting doesn't work. And so people are always wondering, what can I do to be healthier, to have a healthier weight? What's the best way to exercise? So the sections on that, I think, provide information that's kind of common sense, but it explains why the common sense really is the right way to go.
Okay. If someone were to give you, to ask you 3 health tips, what would they be?
Well, I mean, 3 health tips are basically the things that we learned from our parents or grandparents. It's eat right, exercise, and go to sleep.
Okay.
And the thing about all this is that it's very simple, but it's not always so easy. And so for each one of those, I try and distill down why it really matters, and the little small steps that you can take to improve on any of those that can have a big impact in the long run. Because it's kind of daunting when you look at any one of those and say, okay, I'm not eating right, I have to revamp my entire diet. And so you try and do wholesale change, and you will fail. But if you say, okay, I'm really not eating very, very healthily, I'm going to make a small change that makes my diet healthier, it's like, great, you do that, you experience success, and then you're ready to build on the next step. And so I'm a total incrementalist of pick something really, really small that's achievable and sustainable, and you can live with it. Feel that success, and then build from there. One
goal at a time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the pressure's on you on a daily basis, because as a medical correspondent for a major news network, people look to you as the epitome of health, right? But in reading through the book, I mean, you practice what you preach, I'm sure, and there are even exercise chapters in here on, for example, alcohol consumption.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, I review the science around alcohol, and there's some good data to show that moderate alcohol consumption can be good for your heart. It can be good for your health. But there's also a wealth of data that shows that alcoholism is a major problem. Alcohol contributes to car accidents and motor vehicle deaths, domestic abuse, all kinds of problems. And so the takeaway on the alcohol isn't, oh, everyone should start drinking, because
too bad.
Yeah. But the reason is you don't know which category you're gonna come down in. Are you going to be someone who ends up with an alcohol problem or not? But the takeaway is, if you drink in moderation, and here's what those benefits can be. Here are some groups where alcohol consumption is not a good idea. And yeah, I'm a moderate alcohol drinker, and I enjoy it, and I'm glad it's good for my health.
Excellent. Sounds great to me. So I guess, are there certain pockets of this population that are much more? I know we're in Aspen, Colorado right now, which is one of the healthiest places really on the planet. Everyone's almost overtly obsessed with their health. Are there certain pockets of population that have different health practices than others in the United States?
Well, I think that so many of our health practices get started when we're children. And if you look at what's been going on in the schools. It's been a movement towards anti-health. And for some people, that doesn't matter so much because they are affluent enough that what they're exposed to outside of school can lead to a healthier life. But for many people, if they're not getting some exercise in school, they're not going to learn to exercise and enjoy it. If they're not eating a nutritionally balanced meal at school, breakfast and lunch, they're not going to be eating a nutritionally balanced meal at all. And our schools are moving away from the things that promote health. The No Child Left Behind law has left children behind in terms of health because it's pretty much squeezed out recess, free play, physical exercise in exchange for more time on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And so while test scores may go up, people's life scores are not going to go up.
Well, what you write about in this book is really for a family, starting young, and it's practices that you should really have in your life for your entire life, and it's easy. It's like sound bites, little succinct tips on how to stay healthy.
Well, that's the goal, is to take it, not make it overwhelming, give people lots of references for where they can find more information, and for each question, give my bottom line. Because so often it's like, well, on this hand it's this, on the other hand it's this, and it's like, yeah, but come on, just come down, what's your take on this? And so for each question, I give my take. And as more science comes in, I'm sure some of my bottom lines are going to change as well. But that's one of the things I love about science, is it's self-correcting that way.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for all your wisdom, for your tips, for your bottom lines. And for more with Dr. Richard Besser, you can check him out obviously on ABC News and on genConnect.com. And Tell Me the Truth, Doctor is a great book.